So I was actually planning on doing another video on Diablo 4, but I didn't play this weekend, just didn't have the time. And it kind of led me to this thought process where I wanted to talk a little bit about being old. It sounds weird, doesn't it? I'm not actually that old. I'm 31. But in terms of life stage, you probably think I'm a little older than your average 31-year-old. I'm in an 8:30 till 5 job, 2 kids, married, house, etc. Basically, my personal life has gone to a point where I can't go much further other than maybe having another kid and doing some personal goals, I guess. But ultimately, I've done most those big life milestones already. And with those big life milestones usually come responsibilities. And as any of you parents out there will know, as soon as you have a kid, your life changes forever. And for any of you thinking about having children, this is a bit of dad talk for you. It does change your life forever. You no longer get to prioritize yourself. You prioritize the children pretty much at all costs. And that means that you just get less time to do things. And that's okay because you love your kids. But it does impact how you enjoy certain things in life. And one of those things that has been impacted for me is gaming. When I was in my early 20s, I would religiously play League of Legends ranked until 5 a.m. all the time. Like, every day. It wasn't even close. I would be on there grinding Leona support season 2 or season 3. I can't remember which season I was playing Leona support, but I was grinding the crap out of that champion every day. And as I got older and older, and as I got more responsibilities and more things to do, and as my YouTube became less of a priority, simply because it wasn't making me that much money, I just found that I had less and less time. Like, when I play a competitive game, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I usually want to be really good at it. You don't play a competitive game to be mediocre, unless you just really enjoy the gameplay. I play a competitive game to be good, in the top 1% good. And I did that in League of Legends. Didn't get to top 1%. I mean, I don't know if Diamond in Season 5 or Season 6 was top 1%, but I never made it past Diamond in League of Legends. I wasn't good enough. But in Wild Rift, I wanted to be top 1%. In TFT, I wanted to be top 1%. These are games that I need to play to be good at. So when I have my daily routine of wake up at 5:30 a.m., try and stay in bed with the kids who watch a little bit of TV in the morning for as long as physically possible, get the kids dressed, do the kids breakfast, take the kids to nursery, come back and start work. So I get about 25 minutes between dropping the kids off at nursery and coming back to start work. Finish work at 5, go and get the kids, do the kids' dinner, get the kids ready for bed, sometimes do bath, not a bath every night, sometimes do bath, read a book for Rupert, bed. I'm like 6:30, 7 at that point. At that point, then I'm making dinner for myself and Emily. Then we eat dinner. Then I do some exercise. Not every night I do exercise. I maybe do exercise once every 2 or 3 days. But nonetheless, I'm kind of hitting 8, half 8 at that point. And then, if I don't want to be a complete giga zombie the next day, I have to go to bed about 10. I don't always go to bed at 10, but I have to really go to bed about 10. Otherwise, I do pay for it the next day. That leaves me about an hour and a half to do what I want. And usually, that is going to be gaming. Now, it's not always gaming. I need to spend time with my wife. I can't just leave her alone forever. So I need to go and spend time with my wife sometimes. And so that doesn't mean that I can do that every day. And I found that the less and less time that I've had to play competitive games, the less and less I've enjoyed them. They weren't designed to appease someone like me. These competitive games are designed to keep you engaged for as long as possible, so you spend more money in microtransactions. There is some papers out there. I don't know whether these kind of papers apply to all competitive games, but there are theoretical and scientific papers out there that talk about churn rate matchmaking. What kind of matchmaking and what predicted outcomes are likely to keep users engaged the longest? Now, matchmaking, I'm not sure works like that across all games. This is from an EA 1v1 sports title that this particular paper was based on, but there is some element that games want to keep you engaged with their product for as long as possible. So someone that just wants to log on and play 2 games, especially when you're high elo and those games can be hard and sweaty, the games really aren't designed for me. And what I found with TFT, a little bit less so with Wild Rift, because Duo was available in Wild Rift, and I could play with people who I knew were decent, so I'd always have a good chance of having a good game. But in TFT, I go into a game, and if I don't win either of the 2 games that I've played for the night, I have just wasted my evening, and I felt like that all the time. I just felt like I just wasted an hour and a half of my life. I didn't get any content for YouTube. I didn't even bloody enjoy playing. And now I'm just going to have to go to bed and feel sad about my life. And that's kind of just this cycle I got into with these competitive games. If, you know, if YouTube was a full-time thing for me, you know, and this is probably why you've noticed my upload frequency has decreased over the last 2 years. It's coincided quite heavily with when I had a full-time job. YouTube has never been, well, YouTube could have been a full-time thing for me. There was one moment in my YouTube career that I really thought I could make this full-time. If any of you want to guess which game it was, there was 2 games actually. There were 2 games right next to each other, kind of. But if anyone wants to guess which games you think gave me enough of an income on YouTube where I was considering going full-time, please let me know in the comments. I will let you know that it was one of my most loved games that I've played on the channel, and the game, you probably can tell, the game that I got the most consistently high views for a short period of time before that game fell off the face of the cliff. That was the game I enjoyed making the content for the most, and nothing's come close, even Vainglory. And spoiler alert, it wasn't Vainglory. Vainglory made me no money. But everything outside of those games didn't make me any money at all. So, you know, I think I made $60 on YouTube in January or something stupid like that. Like, I made nothing. So yeah, it's never been a full-time thing for me. It's just been a passion project. And so therefore, if I can't feasibly dedicate enough time to make my YouTube as good as I want it to be. And frankly, the only real direction that I see my YouTube going is kind of more of like a let's play, you watch me play games and talk about life. Because I think it's the only sustainable way that I can keep my YouTube going. I can't be an educational resource for games that I just don't have the time to play. And that's with the TFT. Like, I was always treading water with these games, Wild Rift and TFT, to make it feel like I knew enough about the game that I could teach you guys. But I never really felt as confident as I wanted to be in these games to be able to do that. But like, hey, look, you've rambled. I've been rambling. I'd love to hear from other dads and my mums on the channel about how you felt about gaming. You know, when I was a kid, I used to watch my dad play like Tomb Raider and Medal of Honor Allied Assault. I'd just sit in a dark office behind him watching like the very early fabrics of live streaming. And I'd love it. Absolutely bloody love it. I would just sit there and watch, and it would be the most amazing thing. And I know that when Rupert gets a bit older, that's probably how we're going to enjoy gaming. Rupert's just hit 4, so he's kind of got to the age where I can maybe teach him how to play games, and he'll pick it up relatively quickly. If any of you guys have got any suggestions about games that have worked well with getting your kids introduced to gaming, please let me know. I don't have any consoles apart from a Switch. I was considering buying another console, like a PlayStation. But yeah, I'd love to have your impressions. But as my dad got older, he played less and less games, and we spent less time doing that. And I kind of understand it, because I'm in that space now. I just don't have the time to play games. Even, the games that I do enjoy are generally the ones that you can pick up and play for 30 minutes to an hour, and you can leave them and they'll stay exactly where you left off. I play a lot of Hearthstone at the moment. I play a decent amount of like these ARPGs like Diablo 4 because you can just leave them and come back to them whenever you want. But these competitive games have just become less and less of my lifeblood. It's just not something that I can play consistently. I actually am going to start playing TFT set 8.5, but whether I create more content on it, I don't know. It will be very dependent on how easily I pick up the set and how much I'm kind of enjoying playing it. But we'll give it a go. Hey, but look, I'm so sorry for rambling. I just felt like this is a video that I kind of wanted to talk about. I just wanted to talk to you guys randomly, at you guys, I guess. And you get a bit more of an insight into my life. Cheers to getting older.